welcome to the Sedona International Film Festival. This is our silver anniversary, and we're so excited to be here. We're coming to you live from the Sedona Rouge Hotel. I'm Carol Kahn, and our sponsors are Digitech and Black Magic Cameras, so we want to thank them as well. And joining me now is Michele, and your movie
is Reclamation, The Rise at Standing Rock. It's a short documentary.
I can't wait to hear all about it. And just kind of briefly give us a synopsis of the film.
Well, it's about the resistance, the Native people's resistance in Standing Rock, and against the Dakota Access Pipeline, the $3.8 billion pipeline, and it's about their peaceful, prayerful resistance. And my documentary focuses on, firstly, the young people that were so committed to this resistance, and that began. So when I first got to Standing Rock, it was a handful of people, 6 people, and when I left in the winter, there was 12,000 strong in resistance from all over the world.
Oh my gosh, and we have a trailer that I want to play right now for this. It's coming.
There should be like 3 clips from you too as well.
Well, that was 2.
We've lost it.
Okay, lost it.
Well,
okay.
Well, when
that happened at Standing Rock too. There was a lot of a lot of media shutdown from. Actually, we had very little when we had to post things or put things on Facebook. They were trying to interfere with the messaging of Standing Rock. So the Native people had to think of very creative ways of getting their message out.
I think it's really interesting. Briefly, we were talking right before we started here, and I was talking to you about water. And recently I had watched this clip about a Lakota Indian woman talking about water being sacred. And that is what Native Americans believe, that water is sacred because they use water to heal. And so I don't think, like, as Americans or even just people in the world really look at water as anything being sacred, and it is. So what did you find when you were there, with the Native Americans and their belief systems in that, and they're actually protecting water?
Yes, one of the things that we learned is Mini-Wichone, which is water is life, and there are not only the sacred ceremonies that they use water for, but also the life force of water, and the fact that this pipeline was unlawful through their treaty land, and it's, unfortunately already breached several times, contaminating the water and the land, and, that's what they were concerned about. And the Native people, things are very sacred to them, and especially they were there to protect Mother Earth, and Standing Rock was a springboard to the environmental movement that's happening now all over the world, and to protect Mother Earth, to be sacred, and also the Native nations, the civil rights movement of the Native people, because Standing Rock was the first time in 150 years that all 300 Native nations came together, united, for this resistance against this pipeline. And the young people that my film focuses on were, there's a prophecy that Sitting Bull has, that, in his time, that 7 generations from his time, the young people would come together and unite the tribes to protect the earth. And that's what they did. And so they feel, this 7th generation of young people feel that it's not only their duty as Native people, but also their duty in this prophecy.
Was there anything that surprised you differently? You went in knowing that you were going to, do this topic and subject. Was there anything while you were there that you either learned about or that surprised you going into it that you didn't know about?
Well, I mean, firstly, what I was so compelled to tell the story is that these young women said that the pipeline, which had been pushed on the Great Sioux Nation, that these young women came together to organize this, that they just basically said, no, this is not going to happen. And that they did this in this prayerful resistance, in this peaceful resistance. And as each month continued, their peaceful resistance was met with violence from not only the local police and but all the Blackwater and Tiger Swan and all the people that were hired by the pipeline. So all the mercenaries really tried to not only aggravate and agitate, but they were throwing tear gas and water cannons in below freezing weather, and they were trying to break up this prayerful, peaceful resistance and trying to instigate something. And these Native people, these leaders, these people of the resistance, these young people, were committed to this peaceful situation and kept everyone peaceful. So as the place grew from 6 people to 12,000, you can imagine it's hard to keep 12,000 people in clear, committed ways, and they did it. And it's a great testament. In the footsteps of Dr. King, in the footsteps of Gandhi, they walked there. And I was fortunate enough to walk there with them and stand with them.
Yeah, how did you get to that place? Because from what I understand, in dealing especially with Native Americans, it's very hard to, to go into, their tribe, or for them to be open enough to talk about it. This is a subject that they've talked about, but how is it that they've accepted you?
Well, that was a beautiful thing, I gotta say. When I got there, we came there as allies and we learned from them, from watching their ceremonies and being parts of that, and they were very welcoming. They welcomed all the allies that came in, all the people that came in, and there was at the end of each day there was a big fire, and people would tell stories, ancestral stories, ceremonies, and you just became a part of it and you learned it. And I think young people like me. That's good, and they like the fact that I think the Native people, in particular Indigenous people, are very welcoming, and they like the fact that I listen more than I speak, and that's, I think, a good thing for documentary filmmakers to go in that way, is to listen more than you speak and learn where you are, respect where you are, respect the people, and respect what they were doing. And I had enormous respect, and what they were doing was profound,
Did they give you a name sometimes?
Oh, I would love to have gotten a name. I'm sure they had a few names for me that they didn't share, but no, I
didn't mean that.
Long ago, during the time of Sitting Bull, there was a white photographer, D.F. Barry, and the tribal name for him was Little Shadow Catcher. So people who know D.F. Barry's work and the fact that he was very close to Rain in the Face and to Sitting Bull, and so there were some talks of Little Shadow Catcher.
So there you go.
Not official, but...
I know, but I like it. It's cute. So have you shown your film yet at the film festival?
I have not shown it here. First of all, we're so excited to be at Sedona. I have never been to Sedona. It's such a spiritual, beautiful place. And it was great that Patrick called us personally. We thought that was great, and everyone's been so welcoming here. And we show the first time at 4:30 today, and then again at 7 o'clock. On Wednesday, 7 p.m. on Wednesday, and we're part of Doc Short's #1, I think, and we have not shown here. We've shown several film festivals, and it's interesting to see people's reactions. So I will be very fascinated to see how it plays.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear back. And is there a website for people to...
www.reclamationthemovie.com, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I wish you the best.
Or the film, actually, .com, sorry.
Oh, no, so say that again.
Reclamationthefilm.com, sorry. Oh,
that's
man.
okay. You're allowed. Well, thank you so much for being with us.
You,
I can't wait to hear all about it, and you'll find our audience is very responsive, so I can't wait.
I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you so much. To be with you and to be here is really special.
Well, thanks. Thank you so much. And we'll be back with more from the Sedona International Film Festival, the silver anniversary, right after this.